Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef? I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show.
Primo Lopez, the takeover, two-time undisputed world champion. Primo Lopez, the...
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing, the CEO of Boxing Talk. Of course, we got the Puerto Rican Prince himself, B3 in the house, a.k.a. the Oscar De La Hoya hater, a.k.a. anything that's not a black fighter hater. My man, the Puerto Rican Prince, B3. And, of course, we got my guy, CDK. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, bro?
How y'all feeling, man?
I'm all right, bro. Blessed. How y'all feeling?
Chilling.
Hey, I wanted to take a break from the same old three guys we keep talking about. So I thought we'd do a Super Bowl preview, man. And one of the things I'll say, I don't know if you guys think this, but I really feel like the NFL is trying to replace its core fans. What do you guys think about that?
You said, say that again, brother.
I said, I think the NFL is trying to replace its core fans with what you would call like casual fans. Instead of hardcore football fans, I think they're going out their way to kind of change the fan base by boosting up Taylor Swift. You know, we're seeing some of the most outrageous calls of all time. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. What you guys think you're seeing on that?
Go ahead, Free.
You said, do we think that it's interfering?
No, what I'm saying, you think they're trying to replace the fans with more of casual fans and not so much hardcore football fans? Because I kind of see football is really going out of its way to kind of push the whole Taylor Swift thing. It's like more of a pop thing because the product, I think, is not as good. What do you guys think?
I mean, well, the NFL, I mean, they've been doing this for years now. I mean, the NFL is the number one sports in America. It passed baseball and basketball a long time ago, and they never looked back. And if you look at the NFL, they set the trend to what other sports decide want to do. They were the first ones to get involved with the hip hop and R&B, as far as the national anthem and stuff like that. And then we started seeing the NBA started doing it. They started having hip hop and R&B artists get involved in their sports, and then we started seeing baseball get involved with it. So I mean, football set the trend for all of the other sports when it comes to the things that they do. They always keeping up with the time. They know what the people like. They know what the people want to see. So they try to keep up with the times, and that's why they're the number one sport in in America. Um, I think they always going to be the number one sport. The only thing that kind of pull the casuals back from the NFL is the way they call in plays now is more of a flag football type league than it is uh, the gridiron that we used to, the hard hitting, the jaw dropping hits that we see, the highlight hits that we see. We don't see too many highlight hits anymore because you can't hit the people like that. You gotta pretty much let them come down and be able to protect themselves before you could put a big hit on. So that's the only thing that I see as a drawback from the NFL. Other than that, NFL is leading all sports. They every year they only put up well now is 17 games. They only play 17 games, and they by far lead all sports in revenue generated because of the fact that they are so popular.
I
Go
definitely
ahead. No, bad. Go ahead.
definitely agree. I definitely agree with everything Free said. You know, football has always been really, man, in boxing and football, my favorite two sports. And football for a long time now has been changing over. You know, you go from the time of the greats when we were watching, football. Me coming up as a young man watching, the reason I fell in love with the Detroit Lions was because of Billy Sims in a run game. And now football is more of a pass game. You don't see, you don't have the great running back like that no more. A lot of things have changed. Players like Tom Brady are able to play. He was able to play as long as he did because they took so much out of football with the hits and stuff and changed the rules. And like he said, made it flag football where you really can't, hit the quarterback like that. And that's why players are able to do the things they do. One thing about football, like you said, it generates more money than any other sports in the United States. Uh, I think the only other sport that I can think of that maybe generates that type of money is soccer, which is not really an American sport. Soccer pulls in, generates a lot of money. Football with them, they generate a lot of money, but to me, the players, it's hard to say this, and people be like, "What do you mean they underpaid?" But I feel like football players out of any sport are underpaid. If we're gonna say anybody's getting underpaid, that's how I feel about it.
They salute the Susan, salute them 88 sports pulling up. I think what you see in there is really almost a totally different game. It's kind of sad because it almost looked rigged. I mean, when I look at some of the calls you see, the holding, I mean, it's pretty much if you try to do anything to stop a receiver from running free, it's a flag. And I think to myself, like, Chet Bailey couldn't, I mean, not Chet Bailey, Rod Woodson, you know, Chet Bailey, all these great cornerbacks and safeties and stuff, you probably would have never had an Ed Reed because you couldn't touch anybody. I mean, then I think about maybe like the hard hitters. Used to be a guy up in Dallas, Roy Williams, Ronnie Lott. Them guys couldn't play professional football now because the way they call it, Troy Polamalu, a lot of the stuff that we grew up loving in football is over with. And I'll ask you guys this. This is just my thing. It's not me sour grapes because the Brownies didn't go all the way, even though half the roster was hurt. I think we had 16 people hurt, 12 of them starters, but we still made the playoffs. But we ain't talking about the Brownies. Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys see the decline in football as far as ratings have been declining the last 2 years in consecutively? Do you think that's a normal trend, or you think that's just something passing?
Go ahead, Free. Hello?
I don't know, my man
Okay.
pretty much fell off.
My bad. Say that
Oh,
question again. I couldn't hear you.
no, what I was saying is, do you think that the sign it's a bad sign the ratings have been going down the last 2 years consecutively after a 3-year run of the ratings being lower than they ever been for the NFL?
No, I mean, it can be an ongoing thing. I mean, like I said, the reason why they came so strict on the penalty call and the hitting is because they want these superstars to play a lot longer to bring in more revenue. The longer Tom Brady played, the more money the New England Patriots was making every single year. Remember, New England Patriots wasn't a team that a lot of people watched. They had Drew Bledsoe, and nobody really paid attention to New England. And Drew Bledsoe, I mean, he led them to the playoffs. Tom Brady took over when Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and they never looked back until Tom Brady left. And that's a lot of these rules was changed because of Tom Brady, because of Aaron Rodgers, because of Peyton Manning, because of these superstar athletes that they had that was bringing in so much revenue. They want these players to play longer. Like if we had these type of penalties back in the day, a lot of these players would have played much longer. We wouldn't have had running backs only playing 10 years, playing 9 years, and you never hear of them again. A lot of these running backs are playing much longer because it's not so much of a run offense. It's more of a passing offense. The running back still has some plays in the game, but it's more so geared to the quarterbacks and the receivers. And so they want to highlight putting more scores on the board. I mean, you got to look at it. The NFL is the first major league sports in America to go overseas and play a game overseas. They was only playing one game overseas. Now I think they got like 6 or 7 games that they're playing overseas. We having it where teams gotta have at least one game over there every other year. You gotta play at least one game over there every other year. So we're gonna start seeing the NBA do it. We're gonna start seeing baseball do it. It's something that, like I said, the NFL changes the rules for everybody. When the NFL do it and they see the success that the NFL have, all of the other major sport follow suit because the NFL makes so much money. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar sports event every single year. I mean, if you look at the Super Bowl, just to buy a 30-second slot in the Super Bowl, you're paying $7 million for a 30-second slot for the commercial for the Super Bowl. Just to put a commercial up for the Super Bowl. That's how much money they're generating every single year. That's why I say the Super Bowl makes way more money than anybody else. The only other sport that comes close to the Super Bowl is the NBA, and because the NBA plays 82 games. But even still, NBA play 82 games. They got a lot more teams than the NFL have. The NFL only got 32 teams. The NBA, I believe they got somewhere around 40 or 50. I think it's somewhere around 50 teams, and they play a lot more games. And to try to keep up with the NFL, baseball play 162 games, and they not even keeping up with the NBA. The NFL, their players play an average. They get a contract an average of 5 years. They might, if they're a top level player, they getting somewhere between 15 to 30 something $million for those 5 years. NBA, they getting 7-year contract, maybe a 10-year contract. The major leagues baseball, they getting 10-year contract. In order to get those numbers, they getting a $200 million contract, but they playing for 10 years on that same team. Where in the NFL, you might get a $200 million contract. You only playing 5 years on that contract, and you might get 60, 70 of that guaranteed. The rest of it is if you finish that contract, you get the rest of that finishing out that contract. So the NFL, it leads the way in all of the other sports.
Peace to everybody on the panel, man. I didn't get to hear the question.
No. Go ahead.
Go ahead, BVO.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, CDK.
Okay, the question basically was, I think he was talking about how the rating in football has dropped off somewhat, and man, D3, man, you hit it on the head again as far as talking about, but one thing about the rating is crazy. If even with the rating dropping down just a little bit, football still the number one sport.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but have the ratings dropped?
Yeah, the last 3 years. The last 2 years they've gone down.
Yeah, it went down.
Really? Because I know the revenue has gone up in the past 5 years.
You got to think of it like this. It's the number one sport, so it's down is not at the bottom of the barrel. So it's like when somebody rich will declare bankruptcy.
Yeah,
They not
I agree.
broke, but they gonna feel it
But
soon.
but is that cable ratings? Does that also take into account like NFL Sunday Ticket, YouTube TV, and different streaming apps and stuff like that?
You
I ain't got
YouTube,
it. So let me
YouTube.
finish. Let me
It's
finish.
everything involved.
Let
Everything
CDK,
involved.
let my brother CDK finish real quick. Go ahead, CDK. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead, TJ. My bad.
And y'all right, but the thing you gotta look at it just like this. A lot of what's going on is this right here. The ratings go down, but prices go up. Just like something the free hit on. You think about the commercial prices going up, or the seats at the Super Bowl right now. I forgot what they said, man. I'm talking about a nosebleed seat was probably like $8,000. So the money is even is better now. So even with the ratings dropping, when they say the ratings drop, basically mean like people's not watching like they used to. You know what I'm saying? But the numbers haven't fell off to where it's a big old where you can really just tell. The NFL, like he said, is the number one sport. You know what I'm saying? Over here in the United States, and far as man, just the Super Bowl, like you was talking about stuff being rigged. I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying? People say all the time, you played in the NFL, so you would have a better understanding of whether or not games are rigged. I always wonder myself sometimes is games rigged. You know what I'm saying? I swear to you, man, my team, Detroit Lions, when my coach called, called and didn't take them field goals, I wanted to say right then he took a cut, you know what I'm saying? But I know he didn't, but that's how I feel. But you know what I'm saying? The NFL, man, is still going think about this. Baseball. I went to the store the other day and just was looking at some baseball bats for my son. Man, a baseball bat costs $400, $400 for a good bat. That's why
Ooh.
this real talk. I went to the store. I had a video. I haven't posted the video yet with the prices of baseball bats and gloves and stuff because I really was looking into it and just seeing why. Because I liked it. I like playing baseball. I was a pretty good baseball player, softball player. Just having, not great, but I just had fun. I can play decent. Uh, and I'm just looking at the prices and like, man, this is crazy. This is why kids, play football, and this is why I think for a long time to come, football gonna be one of the number one sports. It don't cost a lot to play football. You know what I'm saying? Compared to some of the other sports.
Yeah, and I just want to make another note. I just looked this up. According to Fortune.com, the NFL is eating TV ratings as its ratings soar 7% to the second highest ever, averaging 17.9 million homes. So, according to this article, the NFL is still dominating TV ratings. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
second highest ever that they posted.
they
That,
definitely
So, yeah,
you know
dominate.
what? I'm gonna give you.
I don't think that I don't think that there's a decline right now. I do think that what BVO is talking about is true. I do think a lot of older guys are not as interested in the game because it's not as physical. There's a lot more penalties and stoppages because, you know, it- they're just trying to officiate out the physicalness. They're even talking about taking away hip drop tackles, which is just insane to me. If you do that, you take away tackle football. But I don't
Yeah.
think, and I heard your initial question. I don't think that the NFL is trying to replace its fan base with a casual audience. Um, no matter what, the NFL is going to be all right, bro. You still
Yeah.
have the next generation of those same older guys who don't want to watch it anymore. Those guys go on to have kids, bro, and they'll watch that shit. This is America's sport right now, and I don't think that's going to change. And Taylor Swift, she's not nothing new. She's par for the course. Entertainers have always been in the NFL business. Jay Z, all them guys, Lil Wayne. So no, I don't think that the NFL is in decline. I don't think that they're looking for a new fan base. I think that all that stuff is par for the course.
I
Hey, let me
think. I
say
think
that.
the thing. Go ahead.
BBO, right here as far as the fan base, you saying older guys, I'm gonna say this right here, man. My dad them, I'm an older guy, but my dad them, man, are diehard football fans. They don't even watch any other sports, man. That's all. So I think the like the hardcore fan base, which is maybe probably all the older guys, they the ones that really, you know what I'm saying, that don't my dad them gonna always like they cowboy fans. They not gonna never stop watching football. They
Right.
complain about they complain about the rules and how things are changing, but they still watch it. You know what I'm saying? They like I don't I'm like you though, as far as That's why the ratings and stuff like that'll never drop off really like that too much. You won't really see a decline because the old school fans are gonna always watch it.
I think the thing that I'm saying, Mark, is it's hard to. I'm just going off what they were saying in the Wall Street Journal. The thing is, it's hard to see what the decline because they're so far ahead of the next sport. But I give you an example. Baseball at the turn of the century used to call, as they call it, America's pastime, was number one, and they did not make proper changes. And as you look at it now, baseball still is one of the best sports to be a part of because they're the only sport that you can have a 10-year contract. Other than I think it's the NHL and Major League Baseball, you can only have a 10-year contract, 12-year contract only with those sports. I think it's funny that when you look at basketball and you look at NFL football, these two sports are black dominated. Isn't it funny how you have to go to collegiate and build that collegiate semi pro league before you come to the major league? And I think it's just overall you can kind of see that the NFL, the NCAA, they're all working together, and it's shortening the players' time to earn. The NIL deal, whatever. And you see how that's going. Mm-hmm. Now you got Congress trying to stop the NIL deal. The whole thing I'm saying is I think it's bad for the players, and I think the product is not the same. When you watch any game now, you can see the difference. When I watched Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, they had 25 million people watching that game. 25 million people watching that game. So I'll put it like this. You can brush off the fans if you want to. You want everybody to watch the sport. And if you don't, it'll become marginalized like the NBA is, or marginalized like the NHL is. Go ahead.
So couple things, BVO. Number one, you are correct. Baseball was the biggest sport in America at the turn of the century, but that was because of the Summer of Love. That was because of Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and them guys who were doing steroids. And then you had the home run races. The entire country was into it at that time. So, and that was a passing thing because eventually Balco came out and they shut all that shit down. So I don't think the NFL has a product like that that's reliant on something that's temporary. You know what I'm saying? What other point did you make? Go ahead, CDK. What other point did you make, BVO?
I want to ask all y'all this because BVO, you had said something, and I want to ask you. I thought Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year contract.
He did.
Okay, that's what I was heard. Okay.
No, you could sign a 10-year contract in baseball because there's no cap, there's no salary cap. So a team like the Yankees or or wherever, they could pay you that.
Yeah. I thought I heard BVO say that it was only like one of the only sports you could sign a 10-year contract in. My fault. That's what I thought I heard him say. And that's why I was saying, like, I thought Patrick Mahomes did sign a 10-year contract.
Let me look that up to fact check that.
No, he did sign a 10-year contract, but that's very unique.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, because BVO had said, I know I heard him say, baseball was one of the only free sports you could sign a 10-year contract in, and that's why I brought it up for the only reason.
Oh yeah, my mistake. I think we'll be getting.
Yeah, and another point I wanted to make, BVO, you said that baseball players could go straight to the league. That's not necessarily true. A lot of guys that come out of high school, they go to minor leagues, they go to AA and stuff like that.
That's pro. That's pro.
What you say?
That's pro, dog. That's not no college. That's pro, dog. You earning
well,
money
okay, but the NBA has similar leagues. They have the G League. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you an example. They got a kid in Ohio. I gotta look up his name. He's 17 years old. He's getting ready to graduate. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. The kid has just got signed by the Kansas City Royals. I think he was the 4th or 5th pick in the draft. They gave him $10 million, a $10 million contract out of high school. So he's going to the minor leagues, but he's a pro. What I'm saying is this. It's funny how the only sports that deal with this type of stuff are the sports that's dominated by blacks, is what I'm saying. That's what I wonder what's the real underlying reason for why the sports that blacks dominate have these salary caps. They also have these waiting periods where you can't just go straight to the league. Like think about it. When LeBron literally left from the projects to the NBA. You can't do that anymore. I don't think people understand. He left Spring Hill Projects right to the NBA. What I'm saying is, I think that's crazy that the sports that are black dominated can't do that. I don't know if it's, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing. I'm just saying I don't like the way these pro leagues are going. And I think they're trying to take advantage of the product, which are the people, and they're not helping the product grow by legislating tackling out of football. I just don't like it.
I think that certain positions in football should be allowed to come out early, particularly running back. When you look at how they're being done in contract negotiations now, their age and their years of experience is being used against them. So if you have a breakout season as a freshman, you should just be able to come out and go into the draft. I don't know, BVO. I really don't have a good answer for you.
I'm gonna tell you
Why they do that in the NBA? But go ahead, Free.
I'm gonna tell you why they do that, because you got to understand, these are kids coming out of playing against grown men. NBA, you're not taking no hits. Baseball, you're not taking no hits. In the NFL, you're getting hit by grown men that's out there lifting weights. You got some of these grown men sitting there weighing 270 pounds, all muscle. You got these kids coming straight out of college. Some of them don't even play a starting position 4 years in college. So you got a kid coming out of high school. He goes to college. He have a All-American season. This kid is 19 years old. You want him to go straight to the NFL and play against a man that's 28, 29 years old, all muscle, coming in and take that kid head off, and then you're going to be like, oh, why they let that kid play against those grown men? That's the reason why they do that. They want you to become a legal adult. So when you out there, you had 3-4 years playing in college. You got a chance to go from that kid's body frame to a grown adult body frame. Because I've played football my whole life. When you go from going from Pop Warner to playing high school to playing college, it's a transition. The same thing when you go from college to the pros. It's a transition. When you put these kids out there playing against these grown men ain't going to look at them and say, hey, they're kids. They're going to look at it and say, that's the opponent. I got to go dislodge this ball from this person's body. So that's the reason why they do that.
That's old school. But let me say this real quick. There was a kid from Akron, I believe he was from Akron, named Chris Wells. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. Chris Wells was 5'10", 225 pounds at like 12. Chris Wells, he never got any bigger. I'll give you that. He never got any bigger. Chris Wells went on to Ohio State. Then his name was Beanie Wells. That was his nickname, Beanie Wells. Mm-hmm. And by the time he got to the Arizona Cardinals, man, he was so blown out, beat to death that he wasn't the same. I'm trying to tell you, if he could have went right from Garfield to the NFL, I guarantee he would have ran for 1,500 yards. I don't think that's the case for everybody. Some of these kids come out the womb with grown man body. I'll give you an example. I was 5'11", 6 foot tall at 10 years old. So there are some guys who are meant to play this game that are able to go straight out. There's a guy, I don't know if people are familiar with, a guy named Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker could have went straight from high school straight to NFL. There's a lot of guys that can do it, and I think it's unfair to limit their earning potential. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but what D Free is saying is, what I'm saying is Herschel Walker and guys like Adrian Peterson who could go straight to the league out of high school, those are very rare, very, very rare examples, BVO. And what D Free is saying is true. A lot of these kids are not built for the NFL immediately out of high school. Most of them are built for college football immediately out of high school. That's why you have redshirt years. A lot of these kids, I was watching a video. They were talking about what was your welcome to college football moment, and all these kids were talking about getting blown up and beat to death.
Yeah, and
they're not ready for that.
You can't do it for
certain individuals because then you're gonna have a discrimination lawsuit. You got to if you do it for one, you got to do it for all. You can't do it just for one person. Oh, he's better than most people, so we can let him go straight to the pros. No, you got to do it. You got to open it up for everybody. So if you're not gonna open it up for everybody, you can't open it up for nobody. Go ahead, G5.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
What it
y'all
do?
right.
What's good? What's good with y'all, man?
What's
Salute,
up,
Cool,
salute.
Five?
man.
Man, cooler, man. I hear y'all up here. You know what I'm saying? I hear y'all talking some good talk. Now, just because a person may have the size, don't mean that they can take the impact. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people deal with. Transition from like high school to college. They like, bruh, dudes hit different up there. Or each level you go to is always going to be somebody that's going to bring it. And you got to, just because you may have the size to be a pro, your body got to get adjusted to taking that beating every day. And a lot of these dudes, they cry about in high school getting hit too hard. They cry at college. Shit, you think you going to see a next player right to the NFL to go against somebody that's 6'6", 250 pounds, and they run a 4.4 and they bench 500 pounds? Hell no. You gonna get that young man broke the hell up. But
Yeah,
um,
you right.
it's just not gonna happen. Like, it's levels to everything, and you got to get broke in and adjusted. Most of the running backs, they take them probably the first 2 years just to get adjusted to getting hit by these big old dudes. Some people they get hurt and they don't last. Some people they adjust and they get bigger, they get faster, and they get stronger. Then they good to go. Skill is one thing, that's fine. But if you got the skill and you can't handle what's in front of you, you can't take that punishment shit, you ain't gonna last long in the NFL. A lot of people got skill, but they can't take a 6'6", 250-pound man hitting you over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they don't even have the hardest hit. You look, they like, man, hell no.
I
Or they
mean,
get hurt.
I get that, but then there was another guy. I don't know if you guys heard this guy. He was from Cleveland as well. I know he's from Akron. Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield, was he a superstar? No, but the guy was 2 bills coming out of his senior year in high school. He should have went to the doggone pros. I'm telling you, I don't think people understand. You do not see what these guys really are. Like, okay, I'll give you something. What I seen with Dwayne Wade, this is a different sport. The Dwayne Wade that was in Marquette was 10 times more athletic than the one we ever seen in the NBA. I don't
And
think
you know
people
what?
understand that. it wasn't even the same guy. It wasn't the same guy. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad
Mm,
I'm glad you mentioned the NBA because the NBA that's the reason why the NBA went to back. You got to be 21 years old or you got to play at least. I think they said either 21 or you got to play at least a year
1 year.
in
year
college.
of
1 year.
college.
Yeah, they want you to develop more because what was happening was these guys was coming straight from high school to the pros. Kwame Brown, for example, and they was
Mhm.
bust. So you
Mhm.
spent all this money on a draft pick for this number one draft pick to come into the NBA, and he ain't ready for the NBA. If he would have went to college, they would
Mhm.
have saw he ain't ready for the NBA. So that's the reason why the NBA changed their rules. You can't come straight from high school no more. You got to play at least 1 year of college in order to come to the pros.
I,
And that's the
I,
reason why the Amis when you in boxing they don't have these young guys coming straight. Oh, he's 16 years old. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. Yeah, he's 16 years old, but he ain't taking no punches from no grown men. He's taking punches from
Mm-mm.
kids. It's kids.
This is the thing I'm saying, free. Okay, you telling me LeBron James should have went to the doggone college? Are you serious?
That's different.
No,
That's
no,
different.
no,
you got once
He's
in a you
he's
got once
separated.
generation life you got one athlete that's a generational talent. You might get like 4 or 5 of those,
you
but you
had
got a whole
Kevin
country,
Garnett,
you got a whole country
Kobe,
full of players, a
He
whole
didn't hit
country
right
full of
away.
players that wanna go to the pros. They not
Tyson
they not
Chandler.
going straight out of high school. They're not going straight out of high school.
Mm-mm.
Those guys you named, free, didn't hit at all early on.
Hey,
Kobe
hey,
sat
no,
Kobe sat on the bench for
No,
three
a lot of
years. Go
people
ahead.
say that Zion could have went straight out of high school, and we see
he
what
could have.
Zion is now. Yeah, he's a good talent, but he's not built for the NBA for the long term. He gets injured too much, and so
He not
if
he
you're
not the
I
same.
mean, he not
Go
built
ahead.
at all.
Go ahead,
Even the
C.
year
Go ahead,
didn't do him
CDK.
no good. D Free.
Go ahead,
yeah,
CDK.
he is now. He is now. But remember,
Zion
the
could have
first
went.
couple of years in the pros, he was getting broke up.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
He played
I
one
CDK.
year.
think
Go ahead, CDK.
yeah, Zion could have went straight pro. But I'm gonna tell you the problem with Zion. It's not that he couldn't have went pro. Zion just don't have the dedication or discipline. So when I look at him, I just exclude him because man, dude is a freak of
Yep.
nature, but he don't have the dedication. Now, what I got a problem, something Mark Davis said, man, I gotta say this right here. The problem with the NFL that makes people feel like players, y'all right, should know, man. High school player coming out be messing around with no grown men when it comes to that football field. I don't think it's fair. But what I don't like is the way the salary cap. They have to do something different for the running backs because that time period for a running back, we know 5 years, 6 years in, and man, most running backs are on a decline. That's where I have a
Hmm.
problem, man. I feel like something has to be done right there. Where the running backs and get paid, maybe change the whole salary cap up period as far as for the rookies. I never liked that.
Well,
They
they
did.
changing the
I
running back
think
skill. They changing the running back
I think
skill because now if the running back is more involved in the passing game, they're not running the balls as much, so they're not taking that pounding going up the hole. They on the outside catching a wheel route, or they might doing a 5 and in and get an intermediate pass. So it's making the running backs last longer.
Let me ask you a question, Free. Name me the last running back that you know, and I'm asking you for real because I might have missed it, that played 10 years of good football. The last running back.
Frank
The last
Gore,
running back.
Derrick
Adrian
Henry.
Peter.
Derrick
Yeah, he
Henry ain't
just
been in the league.
No, you mean recently, right?
No, I'm saying that. Give me a running back
Frank
that's
Gore.
played
Barry
10
Sanders.
years of good
Barry Sanders played 10
Yeah,
years of
Frank
good
No, he
Gore.
only
football.
played. He only
So
played
what I'm
Uh,
9 years. He only
Stop.
played
Hold
9 years.
on,
uh,
hold on 1
Go
second.
ahead.
I said recently, Barry Sanders, my favorite, to me, the greatest running back ever played the game.
No,
I'm saying right now in this day and
what?
age, name me a running back that you think that's played 10 years of good football in the last. I'm gonna say in the last 10 years.
Frank Gore is the
I
only
think
one.
that Derrick Henry. I think he's only played 8 seasons, but he's giving you a good 8 seasons. Alvin Kamara.
He said 10,
But he
man.
he.
I
He
said
said
10.
10.
Hey, hey,
Well, yeah, it's
I
not
got
many.
one who
Not many.
who did it, and he's still underrated. Fred Taylor, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hold on. Fred Taylor's old school though. I'm talking about you going back.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I want y'all to
we
look at
got
this
we
Frank
got to go
Gore.
back.
We
We
said
got to go
Frank
back.
Gore. Frank Gore.
You gotta go back. Frank
Frank Gore
Gore,
just did it.
old
Yeah.
school. Frank Gore, old school. If you look
Is
at
he?
But
Derrick
the
Henry
thing is,
right now,
Oh,
I think 20 minutes from
Mm.
the
Well,
Titan Stadium.
who?
If you look
Nathaniel
at Derrick Henry right
LT.
now, you see a decline. I see a
How many
decline
seasons
in Derrick
LT
Henry.
play?
no, he
How
said
many?
this in the last 20 years. He's talking about the last 20
Old
years.
school.
but listen.
Yeah, that,
What you have to realize is, when it comes to running backs, if you're not an elite running back, you're not going to play more than 10 years anyway. If you're
You're
not
yeah,
an
right.
elite
that's a
running
I
back.
fact.
agree with you. I agree with you.
Hold up. Listen. When you're playing wide receiver, if you're not an elite wide receiver, you're not gonna play more than 10 years anyway.
I
It's
agree with you.
the only ones that usually play more than 10 years that's not elite are quarterbacks.
But I'm
And running
saying,
back.
give me one.
And
I
lineman,
just
too.
want a running back that doesn't decline in season 7 or 8. What I'm saying is they need to start. The running backs need to be paid early because they don't get the 10. Like y'all saying, y'all right. What you just said, DP, makes sense. Everything I'm saying, we both saying the same thing. I want the running backs to start getting paid early because they might not make it to 10 seasons to have, you know what I'm saying, 10 great seasons.
So let
I
me ask
think
you, let
what
me
I
ask you
think
guys this
what
real
needs
quick.
to happen is they need to be exempt from the franchise tag, and like you say, I think instead of it being 4 years, if you're a second rounder and onward, it should be 3 years for a running back
Yeah.
before you get your new deal, and then it'd be a fourth year option if you're a first round running back.
Well, let me
Right.
say this real quick. Let me ask you guys this. Isn't it funny how Kyle Shanahan is using Mike Shanahan identical playbook, but it doesn't look the same? Is it possible that Kyle Shanahan might be the greatest play caller since we've seen since Norv Turner or Jimmy Johnson? What do you guys think?
He has a chance to prove that. He has a chance to prove that against this Chiefs defense. This is one of the best defenses we've seen in years from the Chiefs. So, yeah, we're gonna see.
Kyle Shanahan is definitely up there as one of the top play callers. You got Sean McVay up there as well. You got a few guys that's out there that's offensive coordinators that are very good as offensive coordinators. Kyle Shanahan, he comes to the top of people's thoughts because he's a head coach as well. Sean McVay is going to be the second person that usually come to people's thoughts because he's a head coach as well. And they both been to the Super Bowl twice now. They both been to the Super Bowl twice now. So they're going to come to the top of people's thoughts.
But how are they using? Let me ask you this: how come they using the same exact West Coast offense that Mike Shanahan used, but Mike Shanahan never had this success? And it's funny because your team breeded all of this. I think they think. Listen, what I'm saying, the Washington Commanders. Listen, the Washington Commanders breeded all of this. In 2006, let me finish. In 2006, I think it was 2006, 2007, when you guys had Mike Shanahan, he had Matt LaFleur with him. He had his son, Kyle with him. He had his son, he had Sean McVay with him. All these guys come from the Mike Shanahan tree. And what I'm saying is this is all I'm basically saying. Isn't it funny how they use
you got to understand. You got to understand
personnel, brother.
You got to understand.
Hold on, bro. He had John Elway, bro.
Let me free. I'll explain it.
Go ahead. He won 2 Super Bowls. Mike Shanahan was at the top of his game when he was in Denver. He won 2 Super Bowls. So you can't say he didn't have no success. The man won 2 Super Bowls, and I think he's been to the Super Bowl multiple times, other than those 2 that he won. And you got to remember when Mike Shanahan, when Mike Shanahan when Mike Shanahan was at Washington, Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator, but Mike Shanahan didn't have the players that he wanted. Dan Snyder was picking all of those players. That's why he didn't have success. And Sean McVay was not an offensive coordinator. He was a quarterback coach. He became the offensive coordinator when we got the new head coach. So that's the reason why he didn't have no success in Washington, is because he wasn't a GM. He was just a head coach. Dan Snyder was doing his Jerry Jones, wanted to be the GM and the owner, and he was picking the players that he wanted. Mike Shanahan never wanted Donovan McNabb. Mike Shanahan never wanted RG3, but those were the players that he was given. He didn't want those guys. He wanted somebody else, but he wasn't able to pick his own players. Go ahead, G5.
Yeah. Hey, to Dub comment, you left out Ed McCaffrey, Rye Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Orlandis Gary. See, people don't think of it, don't know about Orlandis Gary like that. Shit, look when Terrell Davis won in the backfield.
Yeah.
Man, y'all better go do y'all homework. And yeah, personnel is why it look different. You got a finesse running back, speed running back, and can run in between the tackles in McCaffrey. You was gonna throw Terrell Davis screens, give him a stretch, or let him run between the tackles.
Yep.
He not lining up in the slot. You know what I'm saying? You got Debo Samuel. He is a receiver running back. You know what I'm saying? You can put him wherever. Then you got IU, he an X factor. Then you got Kittle, who is a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got Jennings. If he turned up, he showed last year he can ball out too. Like,
he get his
So I'm like, they got weapons, bro, and it's just a different skill set and different personnel. Rye Smith, he gonna run his routes, go deep. It's nothing fancy, but he gonna get the job done. Ed McCaffrey the same way. Nobody was really no flash and dash or electric type of player. They were just effective as hell, and they was cold.
Yeah,
you got people.
He was the guy on that.
You had as soon as they hand Christian McCaffrey the ball, people like, ooh, is he gonna break? And Terrell Davis, he get the ball, people just watching like, okay, they falling because they know he trying to find an opening. Like it's just a different play, same play style, but it's a different set of personnel with a different skill set. Like big playability, that's what San Francisco got. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at that.
I think what I'm
They
saying.
can run the same thing, and it's gonna look different because McCaffrey, what, a 4-3 type of dude. Terrell Davis is what, 4-5 type of dude. He's not known for speed and being electric. You give McCaffrey the ball, as soon as he touched the ball, people like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different dog. Like they can run the same thing. If you put another running back in Christian McCaffrey play with a similar play style like an Alvin Kamara, he'll ball out too. Because it's about
It's a
personnel
system.
and style.
It's a system. I think it's a system, and the reason I say that is everywhere Kyle has been when he was with us with the Browns, he didn't have the players he wanted. He just had I don't know if you guys remember Trent Richardson. He had Trent Richardson
Yeah.
looking like a superstar. When he went to Atlanta and he had Roddy White. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is it just seems like no matter where Kyle Shanahan goes, the offense don't stop nothing. That's what I'm saying. Where even if he don't have the players, now he got the players. Him and John Lynch did a great job getting the players. But I'm saying before, even when he didn't have it, I'm saying his scheme might be one of the best ever. He might be one of the best ever scheme guys there is. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I'll let you guys go.
Think about what that says about him as a coach. You take different sets of grown men. He can hand everybody up here the playbook. Everybody's not gonna understand it and then go be able to perform it. You know what I'm saying? Like he getting people, hey, this is what it is. And he actually getting them to do it and buy into the shit. That's the more the part that's really the most like amazing part about it. Like you go into different places and it still can be successful. That lets you know you're a good coach and the shit that you cook up, it works and you know how to teach the players to do what you want them to do. So it says a lot about, his mind as a coach, then be able to explain it and then they get it and then go do the shit. Because you can hand anybody a playbook, they still gonna fuck it up. I seen two of my cowboy players block each other. What the fuck?
Well, let me ask you guys
Like,
this: does this run that the Chiefs been on kind of validate Big Red as one of the greatest coaches because he did the same? He's running the same offense that Donovan McNabb had, and McNabb never did this. Does this give Big Red his credit?
I absolutely Big Red. He adds his name to the all-time list of coaches, but I really want to give the Chiefs organization a lot of the credit. They built Patrick Mahomes an all-time great offense with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Then they traded Tyreek Hill. That move was criticized heavily, and they built him they went ahead, took that first-round pick, drafted Trent McDuffie, drafted a whole bunch of young players for the defense, and now they had themselves with an elite defense this year. And you just got to get an organization that credit. But to your question specifically, like I said, Andy Reid, he was already one of the all-time greats. This is just what you say, syrup on top or whatever, or
He was
icing on
already
top.
all-time great before he won, or you saying after he got these rings?
What you say?
You said he was all-time great before, or now because he got these rings? What is it? Is it because he got the rings?
No, yeah, the rings. No, the rings validate what you do. That's just what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Winning championships, being the best, being the last man standing, and Big Red has done that twice, and he has a chance to do it for a third time. I'm not sure how many coaches have won 3+ rings in Super Bowl history.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few that won more than 3. Yeah.
then the fact he failed with McNabb and turned around, he got 2. Like he went, but you lost. Now you figured out and you got your same formula and now you got two of them, and now you trying to go for your third one.
So was
And what
McNabb
McNabb
this
first
what
back to
trash?
back G5. First back to back G5. I just want to make that note. That's huge.
uh, you
Was
know
Belichick and
was
Brady,
what
McNabb
that ain't been
was
done since
McNabb
Belichick and
trash then?
Brady.
Was McNabb trash then? Because it's the same.
no
It's the same exact
mm-mm,
offense.
no he wasn't trash. He just came up short.
And he
McNabb
had
was cold.
I believe Terrell Owens,
So
who I don't think Tyreek has ever been better than Terrell Owens. I think
so
Terrell's number 3 to
so
me receiver of all time. Go ahead.
only four head coaches in history have won 3 or more Super Bowl rings: Bill Belichick, Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, and Joe Gibbs. So that's an elite group of names
Yeah.
he has a chance to add himself to.
Yeah, and Joe Gibbs, the only one that did it with 3 different quarterbacks to the same team.
Oh, that's when he had the Hogs. Oh, that's right, Joe Gibbs. You talking about the racing dude? He did have all them.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah, that boy got drafted. Doug and said, "Hey, let's go, Doug." Shit.
But let me ask you guys this: who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year? I'll start off. I got the 49ers by I think it's gonna be 27-21. I'll let you guys give your score on who you think is gonna win.
Uh, so well, if I could go first, man. Until somebody beats him, I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes in the postseason, and that's what's going to be. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have an elite defense. I just think somehow, some way, they find a way to get it done. But the 49ers, they've been battle tested this year. Go ahead, Free.
Um, I, 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 I mean, I can't go against Patrick Mahomes after what I seen what he did to the Ravens. What I will say though, the 49ers definitely have the defense to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes. I, they have the defense and they have the offense to be able to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. What I saw from Brock Purdy, I hear a lot of people saying he's not a good quarterback. I told everybody that man is good. He's not a great
He
quarterback,
is.
but he's good. And that I saw that man be able to make a drive when it counted the most. And
Mm.
that's what you want out of your quarterback. You want your quarterback to be able to come up at the time when they need him the most. And he was able to do that, and they won. And it didn't even it wasn't a pretty game. He didn't have no numbers that would jump off the charts at you. He actually, I think he threw an interception early in that game. So I mean, that man. I mean, they can beat Kansas City. It's just what I saw Kansas City do to Baltimore, because I thought Baltimore was going to beat them, but Baltimore came out flat. And what I saw Kansas City do to Baltimore, um, they can beat the 49ers. Will they beat the 49ers? I believe they will, but it's not a definite.
But this is Patrick Mahomes' worst statistical season. I mean, he hasn't been that guy. I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson. I think he's just been a benefit of great play calling and really, I mean, Travis Kelsey has been. I don't know. I don't think he's better than Gronk because Gronk used to hit his head on the goalpost way too much. And he was always hurt. So I don't think he's as good as Gronk, but I mean, having Travis Kelsey has helped him out tremendously.
I
I
think
really think, I think Patrick Mahomes might be a little overstated, but that's my opinion. You guys tell me what you think.
You need to be slapped. You need to be tied to a car and dragged. All of that for having that opinion.
He had his worst
Um,
season, free. What do you? I mean, worst season, Mark. What are you talking about?
no. But you just in general saying that he's overrated. That's crazy, BVO. This season, I mean, his receivers led the NFL in drops, and he just
Yep.
had a struggle all year trying to find a consistent target. Rashee Rice has come on this year, and Travis Kelsey, he's peaked towards the end of the season, and now they're back in the Super. And think about what you just said, BVO. This has been his worst year statistically, and he's in the fucking Super Bowl. Think about that.
Yeah, I
Dude,
wouldn't say Patrick Mahomes is overrated, and you should know about people that's overrated. Y'all paid $230 million for y'all quarterback and y'all saw what y'all
yeah.
did. So, Patrick Mahomes, like he said, Patrick Mahomes, their team led the league in drop passes this year. I think they had somewhere around 75, 80 drop passes throughout the season. I mean, we could go back and look at that game right before the playoffs started when they dropped like 5 passes back to back to back, and they lost that game. They lost that game. I think it was like 2 games before the playoffs started. They lost, and that stopped them from being in the running for the number 1 seed because they was in the running for the number 1 seed, and they dropped play after play after play, and they lost that game. But for him to still be able to take his team to the Super Bowl, he's not overrated. He's exactly what you pay $200 million for as a quarterback. He's exactly who you pay $200 million for.
Yep.
You think he's
And
better than Lamar Jackson?
one more thing I want to say. This man last year on one leg, down his starting 3 receivers, down his left guard, managed to pull out a win against Joe Burrow. That's all I want to say. And then went and did the same shit in the Super Bowl. So I don't know where that overrated talk comes from, BVO. I know you just stirring the pot, but come on, bro.
No, really not. CDK. I think everybody here is loves football. All Josh Allen is a new version of Jim Kelly. He can't win the big game. He's Jim Kelly reincarnated. It's the same thing in Buffalo when Buffalo couldn't get past Miami. You look at it's just the only difference is Buffalo now can't get past Kansas City. They're at home and they lost. Josh Allen is not that dude. Beating him every year means nothing because he's Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly lost all the time. So all I'm saying is this. If Lamar Jackson had more help, it's not even close. It's not even close between him and Patrick Mahomes. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. Go ahead.
BVO, man, Lamar Jackson got better receivers than Patrick Mahomes. I'm just gonna. I feel like that. I'm gonna say this right here. You say he overrated, right? Patrick Mahomes, since he first started, has never threw for under 4,000 yards in the season. You can look that up. If you look at where him and Tom Brady are at, right, if at the same time in their career right now, he's almost 10,000 yards ahead of where Tom Brady was at the this is 67th season. Right now,
it's a different league. It's a different league. CK.
Tom Brady played in the passing league. A lot of the rules got changed because of Tom Brady, so he made the league. So you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna say, I'm just saying, dude is on another level, man.
He's better than Lamar Jackson.
Yes,
definitely.
He proved that.
Definitely better than he's definitely better than Lamar
Yes.
Jackson. He beat Lamar Jackson. So we got to cut that out and give that man credit.
And by the way, there's this narrative that Lamar is not getting help. What did he not have, or what did the Ravens not go out and get for him? They went and got him OBJ. They drafted Zay Flowers. He had a great run game. They had the best defense in the NFL. If he was ever going to get it done, it was supposed to be this year. So no, Patrick Mahomes is better, and that's what that is, bro.
But you know about the MVP, right?
And one more point. If it's a late game drive, less than 2 minutes, you're down 6 points. Who you want with the ball in their hands? Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes? And the debate is done right there.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's over with.
I think Patrick Mahomes, he has a better arm than Lamar Jackson.
Seriously? He got a better arm.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Patrick Mahomes was a baseball pitcher. He had a chance to go to the major leagues. He chose to play football.
You don't think Lamar has a cannon? I thought Lamar had a cannon.
Lamar has a cannon, but motherfucking Patrick Mahomes has a laser.
Lamar has an arm. I'm just saying Patrick Mahomes' arm is better. Patrick Mahomes can make every throw on the field. He can make every throw on the field. Sometimes Lamar lets the ball get away from him. That's why he throws interceptions. And you see him hit himself in the helmet every time he does it because he knew he shouldn't have threw the ball. He knew he shouldn't have threw it. But he thought his arm was better than what it was, and he tried to fit it in a small space where he came. Patrick Mahomes is smarter than that, and he said, "Hold up, I can get it. I can possibly get it there, but I got another guy over here who's wide open. Let me go over here." That's the IQ of a quarterback. That's what you have to have when you want to be one of the best quarterbacks. You have to have the IQ of a quarterback. Lamar is a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's bad at all. I like Lamar. He's a great quarterback. He's my fantasy quarterback damn near every year. But Patrick Mahomes has a better arm. He has a better quarterback IQ. That man is better on the field. He's better on the field. Now, if you're talking about if the play break down and who's going to get the yards by their legs, Lamar Jackson all day. Lamar Jackson all day.
But even in that area, Pat Mahomes is elite when he gets out of the pocket free. That's the thing.
Yeah, he can get out of the pocket, but I trust Lamar a little better than I would Patrick Mahomes when they get out the pocket and they taking off running. I trust Lamar a little more than I would Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I ask you guys this. This is my question. So it's three great quarterbacks. We're gonna start with G5 on this one. It's Lamar Jackson, it's Joe Burrow when healthy, and it's Patrick Mahomes. Who's the better out of those three? Go ahead, G5.
Mahomes, and he got the hardware. Got 2 rings.
Hold on. Take my bad, G5. Take Mahomes out of the question and put somebody else. At least make it interesting. Come on.
Joe Burrow ain't interesting? Are you nuts? He the best?
No, you put Patrick Mahomes next to those dudes. It's an easy question to answer. Just make it interesting. That's all I'm saying. Put Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts or somebody in there. Or Dak.
Justin Herbert is a turnover machine. I don't know if you guys watched that kid of Cincinnati. That's who look like Tom Brady.
He's not better than. Listen, he is not better.
Man, talk to him. Talk to him.
Burrow ain't better than. Y'all niggas crazy, bro.
No, you crazy.
Oh, now we niggas. Now we did. You see that? Now we niggas. He defended Joe Burrow.
Oh my God.
He ain't won.
Now we niggas, huh?
Hold on, BVO. Who you said it?
Brothers,
who you said is better?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's better than who?
I think he's
Mahomes.
In my opinion.
You only hear somebody from Ohio say some bullshit like that. Only from Ohio.
Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, but he is nowhere near the level of a Patrick Mahomes.
Bro.
Joe Burrow was getting. Burrow was getting.
No, hold on. You give, bro. BVO. Think about this. You give Patrick Mahomes Jamar Chase.
That's like having.
They signed him to a 4-year contract. They're going to the Super Bowl 4 years.
Oh my God.
You can give him both. You can give him both.
Matter of fact, forget Jamar Chase. Give Patrick Mahomes the other 2 receivers. He could keep Jamar Chase. Give Patrick Mahomes the other 2 receivers and give Pat Mahomes 2 best receivers and give it to Joe Burrow. See who has a better year.
Not only that, I fuck with Joe Burrow. He's a great quarterback. When you talk about IQ, poise, all of that, he has it. But we need to get a lot of people don't give the Bengals defense a lot of credit for those playoff victories. When he got sacked 9 times, they just look at him. I think a lot of his playoff performances are overinflated too, but that's just my opinion. I think his defense gave him a lot of help.
He got nobody. It's just him.
No, his defense did help.
Bro, you had a defense hold. You had a defense hold the Bills to 10 points last year, and hold Kansas City to 23 points.
No, you got to understand.
You had help.
That man had help from his defense. You are not going to tell me a quarterback who got sacked 10 times in the AFC Championship and then turn around and get sacked 9 times in the Super Bowl that he didn't have no help. I have yet to see a quarterback outside of Joe Burrow get sacked 10 times in a game and win, and then turn around and get sacked 9 times in a game the following game and win. I have never seen that except for Joe Burrow. His team
and credit to him for that. Credit to him, but be honest, but give the whole context. The defense stepped up heavy. That late game interception by what's the bull name? He got signed by the Falcons, but yeah, I just think Joe Burrow is a great, but what BVO you saying he's on Patrick Mahomes level? That's just some bullshit. I don't know where to go with that.
You talking about the safety? You talking about Jesse Bates?
No,
Jesse
yeah,
Bates, yeah.
yeah. He might now. Don't get it twisted. Joe Burrows might get there. He might get there. He's just not there yet. He might get there. He's just not there yet. You're looking at a sample size. He's only played 3 years, 3 good years. He only played 3 good years.
I'll put it, if Joe Burrow had the Lions offensive line, you couldn't beat it. You couldn't beat them. I think the Lions. I don't know if people know the Lions. No, this is what I'm saying. The Lions got the best offensive line in football. The Lions got the best. It's not even close.
No, we don't.
Yes, y'all do. Y'all got like 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers. You talking about?
Okay, but you saying if he had the line that Joe Burrow, that Patrick Mahomes had, you got to remember Patrick Mahomes played with a team that didn't have no defense. They wasn't known for defense. They was known for only scoring. That's all they was known for, is scoring. They didn't have no defense.
We got a good line. Man, but you got to cut this out, BVO. You know that man ain't better than Patrick Mahomes. Stop it, would you?
No, seriously, you don't really, come on, all jokes aside.
Man, you need, I need to see you might want a blunt. You need to hit a blunt or something.
Gas.
Shit. Man, bro, cause man, I'm glad I'm high right now. Jesus, bro. Jesus, I'm like, my God. I'm sitting here listening to this. I said, did this man just, bro, he be losing. Man, he losing.
Who, Joe Burrow?
Bro.
It be him by himself. He don't got no help. What are you talking about?
No. Get it like this.
Didn't you just sign him a tackle this offseason?
A
big time left tackle. I can't remember who.
You gotta make the plays. Joe Burrow been coming up short. That don't mean that. That don't take away that he not good.
I'll give you that.
He a hell of a talent.
You hear me?
Bro, you got 3 talented receivers and 2 emerging tight ends.
Your mic is like low, the volume.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, G5. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you got 2 emerging tight ends and you got 3 superstar receiver and 2 other solid receivers. Bruh.
They got 3 number 1s out there. They're gonna lose somebody at Cincinnati. They got 3 number 1s. That's a fact.
So no, Tyler Boyd not number 1 here, number 2, but he's solid. T. Higgins could be a 1. And
okay, y'all can see that. I can see that.
Both of them about to leave. They're gonna have to make a choice.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, BVO. I know I do this shit. Like nah, I know what's on the roster.
BVO.
Go ahead.
You listen. Can you tell me when you're looking at Patrick Mahomes receivers, what do you see? Like, do you think it in one of those guys outside of we taking Kells out of the equation? Do you think it in one of those guys will start anywhere else?
No, probably not. I gotta give you that. Probably not. They bought as bad as
Kadarius Toney would have been out the league.
Yeah,
he a good punt returner. That's probably his only saving grace why he get a job. But outside of that, if he was strictly a receiver, it'd be over for his ass.
Man, he needs some of that glue off the old buddy had on the replacements. Go put some of this sticky shit on your glove.
But I'm gonna give my final thought. Let everybody else get a final thought. I'll say this: I'm excited about the Super Bowl. Salute to everybody that's supporting the channel, man. We're trying to do some different things. I wanted to take a break. I kind of feel like, man, all I talk about is Abdul Wahid. All I talk about is the Puerto Rican star, Sugar Shakur. Or we talk about, the current king of 140.
Oh, my God.
I feel like I just feel like we talk about those guys way, way too much.
It's the bad fight week, Bob.
Oh my God!
But tomorrow we're gonna have Regis Progrades strength and conditioning coach Elvin Tolbert is gonna be live with us on the BVO Roll with the Punches podcast. He's gonna be covering the fight with us live as we watch King Teo go against the rough and tough Jermaine Ortiz. And hopefully, Devin the American Dream shows up to get in the ring after Teo destroys him. We'll see. Go ahead.
Hey, breaking news. BVO going to get a Teo tattoo between the shoulder blades.
You cold blooded. You said between the shoulder.
Yo, you gonna put a crown on top of the teeth. Every time you swing your shoulder blades, it's gonna look like a set of wings.
He said, my brother said,
Now you love T.O.
hey,
King T.O. The king of 140.
Hey
hey,
man, that
Lou,
man right there.
hey, Lou Gossett, you got me today. You got me, Lou Gossett. I can't get it. You got me.
Oh man, I bet your nose get wider every time you speak. You can put a goddamn pool ball in that bitch.
You're a
Yeah, T.O.
goofball,
sitting
man.
there, he ain't read it. Man, tell me why your boy sitting there with that book in his hand, he ain't read one page. Man, hey, dude got to be stopped. He got to be stopped, man. I'm sick of him.
Dude got to be stopped. Oh, okay. He is mad as your boy. Why he told me he going to 147 and don't want
No,
to fight Devin? Stop.
both of them ridiculous.
Go ahead. Well, we got to take a
He
break.
wasn't
on that.
reading the book. He was looking at the pictures. That's what he was taught in school. Looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Oh
nice color.
man.
Hey, I don't know why he came up there with that book. He was not reading that book at all. he looked like my grandma going through her study Bible. Like he was not reading nothing.
Give me the highlighter, baby. Give me the highlighter over there in the dresser.
I don't know, but I ask you guys this before we get out. I want to get you guys' final thoughts on this. Are you who you guys got winning tomorrow, man? T.O. or Jermaine Ortiz?
I got T.O. inside 10 rounds.
Okay, I can see it by brutal knockout. Marky Dan by brutal knockout. You go ahead. Whatever.
Get your
That's what he just said, brutal knockout. Within 10
no.
I got T.O. by split decision. I think it's going to be a back and forth type of fight. I think T.O. is going to pull it off in later rounds because Jermaine Ortiz tends to fade in the later rounds. I think the earlier rounds is going to be a chess match. I think T.O. is going to pull it out in the later rounds, but I think it's going to be a split decision for T.O.
That was crazy. That brother said pull it up. Go ahead. Go, who's over next?
Hey, I mean he looking at men lips, so you never know.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
T.O. was kind of having a rough press conference. He was looking real zesty in that press conference. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
He just looked
no,
odd.
that's
He looked
that's
out of
some.
place.
He was looking at Jermaine Ortiz like you so almondy
You know something,
like that.
G5. You know somebody who's starting to grow on me. I really like Keyshawn. He actually a cool dude. I like his blood, sweat, and tears when he went back to his hometown. He ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? He just like to run his mouth, but I mean, he
He's
ain't
a
as bad as that nigga Shakur. He don't be calling people bitches and being
Oh, yeah.
disrespectful and all this other shit.
he a meat boy, man. What are you talking about? He a meat boy.
Nah, and he been separating. And another thing, he been separating himself from Shakur. He said, "Congratulations to Shakur on retirement. He gonna stand on that. Da da da. Da. I'm the man at top right now. I fuck with that shit. Fuck that nigga
Score's
Shakur.
back already. Score's back already. As y'all know, he out of retirement already. He want a big fight. Man, I ain't got time for that baby right there. That man is a real
Man,
crybaby.
that nigga retired. Fuck him. Let him fight Muratime if he want a big fight.
I
What you
think
think
T.O.
about?
win.
Hey man, they don't want no smoke with my boy Raymond Murray man. I've been telling folks about him for years. I said, I'm telling you, they gonna slip up and gonna hop in there. They gonna be like, oh shit, this nigga can punch too. He can box
Okay.
too. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you
Oh,
this.
he can
Let me
take a
ask you this,
punch.
Freak. What do you think about what Tio said about Puerto Ricans being easy work in the ring?
What?
He be talking shit.
What are you
Say
talking
that
about?
again, BVO. Say that
I
again,
said,
BVO.
what do you think about Tio saying that Puerto Ricans are easy work in the ring? What do you think about Tio saying that?
I mean, that's the typical T.O. He always gotta bring the racial slurs in and try to make a race. I mean, like he like BBO. He
Oh,
always gotta make a racial. You always gotta make it racial. I mean,
We made it racial.
and see, the thing is, that's the thing that worries me about T.O. because he did the same thing to Cambosa. He overlooked him, and he go in there overlook Jermaine Ortiz and try to go in there and just knock him out. He gonna be turning around looking at the referees and the judges like, how I lose? The same way he did with Cambosa. That's what's gonna end up happening.
Jermaine Ortiz is
Emotions.
Obama. I don't know what y'all.
Oh, nah, we ain't gonna say that.
Loma beat him up. He stole something.
Boy, stop.
Loma took his belt off at the end of that fight. He gassed out. He shot his load, his proverbial load pause early on, and then that was it. That was it. And then Loma started kicking his ass.
Loma done T.O. the same way.
Yeah, Loma was kicking T.O.'s ass at the end, but T.O. won that 12th round.
So let me ask you a question,
Go ahead.
Do you think is T.O. gonna come prepared for this fight, or do you see him doing what T.O. do sometime and fighting down the competition?
I think he's so focused on Jermaine Ortiz. I think he might knock him out because he got a lot of respect for him. And whenever T.O. got respect for you, he knock you out a la Richard Comey. You know, it's gonna he might put him to bed. Whenever T.O. respects somebody, he like to kick their ass. Whenever he got respect, they get their ass kicked. Same thing with Josh Taylor.
It doesn't sound like no respect when he said Puerto Ricans are easy work. That don't sound like respect. That sound like that dude ain't got nothing for him. He just gonna go in there and knock him out. That don't sound like respect.
Right.
I mean, you seen Shakur though. I mean, is he lying? You seen Shakur?
Oh, man.
We ain't seen a Puerto Rican.
Man, ain't nobody worried about Shakur.
We ain't seen a great Puerto Rican since Tito Trinidad. I mean, or Miguel Cotto. It's been a long time.
Into Trinidad, man, Wink, you're right.
Yeah, Wink, you kicked that ass.
You goddamn right.
Hey, but it's your boy BVO Boxing. It's your boy D Free, aka the Oscar hater, aka the Ryan Garcia hater, the Puerto Rican Prince himself. We got my man Marky Dan. We got G5, the Cowgirls lover, and of course we got my man CDK. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Big to hear.
We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest?
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing.